Nope, you're not giving up. It's testing, not failing. I want to remind you that we have now walked through all of the steps that are needed to get you out of that 200 view jail here on TikTok. You know your mission. You now know your niche house. You know all of your content pillars. You understand audience, customer, your ideal buyer, whether or not they are purchasing something or joining a community. You also now understand that you have to have keywords on the screen, out of your mouth, and definitely in the description, and not just using hashtags. You understand that all of the same things that apply for a spoken piece of content apply for a faceless piece of content as well. You have more tips on how you can actually structure your videos, where you can film your videos. You understand how to edit videos now. You understand that you now need to have a hook, answer, takeaway, get to the point fast. You also understand to stop doing those promotions or follow for follow or any of those things. And now you are ready to go back to TikTok and say, hi, I'd like to reintroduce myself. I am someone different now. I understand how to speak your language. And let me show you and prove that to you with this new improved piece of content. And while, yes, I understand, Mr. or Mrs. TikTok, that it's going to take you some time to get used to me, I'm going to continuously prove to you that I know now all of the different steps that I have to put in the puzzle piece to make my content get out of that 200 view jail. I also now know that I can go and say, hello, hi, Mr. or Mrs. Instagram. Hi, Mr. or Mrs. YouTube Shorts. Here is a great piece of content that has all of the puzzle pieces of being a good piece of content: mission, content pillars, niche house, ideal customer, editing, captions, keywords, all of the things that both of you like. And I'm going to post my content over here the same way I posted on TikTok while I'm waiting for my TikTok to grow. I've removed my watermark, and I just want to test it out over here, because now we understand that a piece of content may flop on one social media app, but it may grow on another. And why make ourselves just be stuck in one place when we can expand to other places? We also now understand that it is testing, not failing. When we put out a piece of content and it does well for ourselves, we look at that and say, okay, that did different. What did I do differently? So if you have a piece of content and you've been stuck at that under 200 range for a long time, and then you have a piece of content that does 300 to 500, that's success for you. See what you did different in that piece of content than what you did in your first pieces of content, and emulate that. You have a piece of content that does like 50 views on it, then we have some other steps we have to take, but look at what you did there and try to identify what you did wrong in this piece of content by going through the steps in this course. It is also important to remember that right now on just TikTok, as of August 2024, TikTok is pushing out political content, breaking news content, and some trending content. That's what it's pushing out. It's taking 7, 10, 2 weeks, 7 to 10 days, 2 weeks to get videos to start growing on this app right now. And this entire course has taught you how to make what is called evergreen content, content that will continue to grow 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks from now, and will still be relevant to people at that point in time. Of course, we all want that initial hit, right? That's what we want. That's why we're going to test our content on other social media apps, putting all of these different pieces and parts together. But we're going to take our time with TikTok, understand that we got to prove to it that we know what we're doing now. And we are going to look at our content through more of a critical eye of, instead of thinking at it of, I'm really bad at this, or I the algorithm hates me. We're going to look at it as, okay, what puzzle pieces do I need to move around? What puzzle pieces did I forget? And how can I make my content just a little bit better every day that I post? What I did for you was I put together 2 pieces of content. And this one was about 3 weeks ago. It sat at 1,000 views until last Friday, and now we're at 13,000 views. I posted this video, I think about 2 days ago. Both of them are eligible for the For You page, but they both ended up being different. This video, it does have this hook up, this written headline here, but I don't know why it's not showing up. Let's listen to this one first.
Today on TikTok, it was burning me out and it wasn't growing my account. What I did instead, and I committed to post.
Okay, so that is the hook there. Over here, so the hook that's on the screen, you do not need to post 3 times a day. Do this instead. Here, content tip, slow your roll when posting content.
Today on energy, I work fun, and what I did, I stopped posting 3 times a day on.
So we did the exact same hook, verbal hook, 2 different written hooks at the top of our page. And we are going to see over time which one does better.
Posting one really good piece of content every single day. And here's what I mean by really great pieces of content. It has to have good lighting. It has to be quick.
Okay, so we hear content.
For fun, and what I did instead, and I committed to posting one really good piece of content today. Good lighting. It has to be clear. I decided, was I making content or was I making videos, or when I was just.
So we're doing the same thing. I added something different here. I added more context here. So as you go through and you watch these videos, you will see that basically they're the same things, but it took, I don't know, 72 hours to get to 1,000. This one got to 1,000 within a few minutes. So again, think about this. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. In fact, I did this for this class. I did it because we have different hooks. We have different editing styles, even though I look the same. We have different editing styles. We have different focuses that I used. You can see here, I used content creator, content tips, content 101. Here I used content tip, content creator tip. Watch the difference in between these and see the subtle differences that can absolutely make a huge impact on how well your content performs. It's not like one is bad and one is good. There's just little tiny tweaks that speak out to people in a different way. And that is what this course has taught you. It's testing, not failing. Some days, something you put out, you might think, oh my God, that's going to be great. It just didn't have that special little that if you put the same piece of content with some new editing, a new hook, it will totally work for you. The next thing we can do is check our analytics. And this, I think, is incredibly important for us to do because I want to prove to you that I know what I'm talking about and not just blowing smoke. I told you that my ideal customer's name was Elizabeth, and I told you that she was around 45 years old. And I told you that she was female. So if we look at my analytics for my page, the age is primarily between 35, 40, 44, and 45 and 54. For me, I wanted my information to be in the United States. It is solidly in the United States. Now let's look at the analytics on my page in general. So first you click this hamburger button, and then you're going to click this TikTok studio. Let's get to analytics. You click the view all.
The first page that pops up is your overview. Scroll down and look at traffic source. The majority of your videos are coming from For You. That is great. You are not shadow banned. You are then going to look at your content and go over one more to viewers. Scroll down and you can see who's watching your video and what type of people are watching your video. Scroll down and see the most active times. What I've been playing around with is posting content at different times that the majority of my people are online. Just gives me an idea if this works. Again,
So here again, you can see 63% of the people who watch my content are females. They are between those ages of 44 and 54, a bigger spread in my ages than I thought or intended it to be. And they're all from the United States of America. This was my customer that I've worked very hard to call out to. And this is consistent every single time, every single week I put out my content, which means that if I was selling something, or which means if I want engagement on my videos, or I want people to follow me, I am speaking to the right person because I have done all of the work that we put in this video course. Now, I have just started testing out all of the different times that I am posting my content. So, whether it be, so here at 5 p.m. on the 24th, 10,000 people of the people who are in my community were online. So I've started posting content between about 4 and 9. And then I'm also testing posting content in the morning. You do not need to do this as in-depth as I'm doing. What I would just tell you to do is right away, start posting content and practicing posting content with all of the tips that you have learned here. Do it for 2 weeks and then come back and check your analytics to see, is the age in alignment with what you said you wanted the age to be? Are the genders in alignment with the genders that you thought you wanted to be? And then is where your customer from, where you selected they wanted to be. Even if your views aren't great in the first 2 weeks, if you start getting this correct and this starts making sense, then you know you're on the right path to talk to the right people. And especially if we come back here and we understand that our content is coming from the For You page. If your content is coming for the For You page down here, the majority of it, or the search page, then you're not shadow banned. That just means that your content needs to have more puzzle pieces put in the right place. If we are not certain where our content comes and it's not all coming from the For You page and that's giving you a headache, then we go to the next step, which is we check if our account is in good standing. And we're going to show you how to do that right now.
Check your content at least once a week or so. We can figure out this low view problem. One, you're going to go to your account and you are going to hit these 3 buttons. It'll pop up. Going to want to hit TikTok Studio. I think that was tricky enough and you couldn't figure out your low views. Here's where it gets even trickier. Where TikTok would send you a message if you had community violations. Now you got to go find it. And here's where we found it. Hit this account check button. Then TikTok will run a scan on all of your videos and you want all of these green little checks as you go through them. If your account is in good standing, it will tell you account in good standing. Some people are getting big X's. Usually they're red. I don't have a red pen, but they're red X's. Here's where the problem is. If you get a big old X on your videos, there's no really way for you to appeal it. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm sure I'll home it for us because we have to understand why we are getting low views. If after you go through the account check, not have any community violations, but you're still getting low views, like under 200 views, you know, in my comments.
So first, check if your account is in really good standing. If you have community violations, go to that video and go to your privacy settings. Do not delete it and put those on private for yourself. And then you will start to see that there will be some slow changes to your account. And now you've got all of the puzzle pieces to start talking to your ideal customer in your right age range and your right language, and then we will see some growth on your account. But again, it's going to take a little bit of time because TikTok and us, we weren't speaking the same language. But that's okay, because now we know we can use this really good content that we're creating on other social media apps for us to grow ourselves and get out of that 200 view jail here on TikTok. Remember, TikTok's not the only game in town. There are other places to be. Maybe it's time to start trying them. It's okay to date around. I give you permission.